Hey there, I'm Don Lucio. It's 11 p.m. I should be asleep. I'm very tired, but I'm working on Toyland, War on Earth right now, writing the script. I don't even know if I'm going to do something with this video, but I guess if you're hearing this, then I am doing something with it. I don't really know what the purpose is. I've got here like the main plot points and stuff for the story. I've plotted this in 2023. This is now 2024, and I'm starting to write this. I don't know what I'm trying to highlight here. Basically, I've based, this is going to be perhaps controversial. I've based Trio's assault on the Blitzkrieg from the Second World War. Because I've got here the main lines here, the assault on Bellwood, where he takes Ben when we didn't expect it. So he runs to Gotham, he goes to Gotham, Gotham also falls, and by the time the people in Toyland, in New City, find out about the assault, it's already too late. The world's starting to fall under Triro's threat. So yeah, I just wanted to put this here for the behind the scenes video, which I guess I'm going to do now because I've started this. This is going to be the biggest movie I've made so far by a long shot. And I thought Superior Spider-Man was going to be big. Oh boy. So as I said, 2024 preparations. I've got so far 0 of the sets that I'm going to use. I mean, I know I'm going to use probably the police department and the Sentinel's tower, but that's about all I have right now. I still need to remake the Batcave and Bellwood and all that stuff. Figures, I've got them, except for a Spider-Man. I'm looking for a new Spider-Man body again, because the Superior Spider-Man body, which is the Pizza Spidey body, is okay, but I want more articulation, better articulation. I'm still going to use the Spectacular Spider head, of course. I've got, of course, the Iron Man, Alan there, all the Sentinels. I'm guessing I'm going to post this after the movie is out. So there's the new Batman suit, still the same old Robin though. The new Harley. We also got the Robotians that you saw in Triro. This is Cybele, that's Logis. I think that's how I named him. I also have so far only these 3 small Robotians. There are going to be more. And 2 so far of the 6-inch Robotians. This was supposed to be an iron armor, but I repurposed it, and this is missing a head. And of course, the main villain himself, Trioro, in his new armor, which is basically Infinity Ultron. But that one's there's cooler. And here's Ben. So far, I haven't really thought about this, but I am planning to replace Ben because I don't really like this figure that much. It's okay, looks good, but I don't like that he doesn't have knee articulation, and I would like him to be maybe a bit shorter to scale better with the aliens. But that's going to throw off the scale with the rest of the group, but he was already out of scale. This is complicated. This is complicated. Right, it's been a long time since I filmed the last update. Of course, in the video it's going to be like half a second at most. I'm now editing the Phase 2 breakdown, which I've decided to do separately from War on Earth, because War on Earth is the big movie. I think I've said that already. And I think I want to get all this done, because the breakdown for War on Earth is going to be longer than a usual breakdown for one of the movies. And also I need some content until I finish War on Earth. I mean, right now I'm writing the script, as you can see, and what it is coming along. I am up to scene 18, and it's going pretty slow. I think I'm barely halfway, maybe just now entering the 3rd act. I'm not sure. I won't be sure until I actually finish writing the movie. This is all I have for the Spider-Man figure. As I said, it was going to be the new Marvel Legends final swimsuit, and put that head on it, but it's sold out everywhere. Everywhere I can buy it. I won't pay the shipping from the United States or wherever, so I'm going to have to find another way, another figure that is still well articulated. I have some ideas, I'm not sure, but I will have a segment on it whenever I get to it. However, I wanted to do a quick collection update. I don't know why, not much has happened. I've made a new Batman figure. This is the old one. Oh no, this is the old one, which looked good, but it's not that well articulated and it's very short in scale. As you can see, he's shorter than a standard Marvel Legends female body. I've also made Batgirl, but this is the multiverse shelf, so I don't know if she will show up in the movie. I'm guessing not, because it's already pretty cramped with characters. I've also made this 6-inch Ben 10 figure from a Dummy 13 figure, you know, those 3D printed figures from Timu. And that means that I'm going to have to redo all this in 6-inch scale, because I don't want Ben to be like this while the rest of the cast is this big, and that's what led me to create that figure. And it's going to be really expensive to do all this. Just imagine how big Humongousaur's gotta be. I mean, right now, if I'm not mistaken, I just dropped hit blast, but if I'm not mistaken, Ben is about, yeah, Ben is taller in this form. Luckily, he's still scales with 3-0, so that works. But I do need to remake all of his aliens. What have I also done? A lot more Robotian figures. Of course, all of these used to be the human figures from the 3-0 show. You know, Freddy, Happy, Matt Callan. I've turned them all into Robotians, so this will be great for background, but not for action, because they're tiny. They're tiny. They're smaller than Ben, old Ben. And I only have like these 4 figures that are in scale, and that one's missing a head. So I'm not going to not doing well on that front. I was going to turn this old Moon Knight figure into a Robotian, but I decided to use that. What head is that? What head was that? I think it was an alternate head for Jason, maybe, but I turned it into a Moon Knight head based on a cover art, if I remember correctly. I'll put it on the screen somewhere around here. Raven is also here. I don't know why she's here on the main shelf. Let me move her, actually, because she has not yet been established in this movie. Well, in this universe, a lot of these characters, like Daredevil and Moon Knight, and those two, have not been established, but I know they are in the universe. And of course, Drillo, he's going to be an important character in phases 3 and 4. Whew, yeah, it's a lot of work to get this movie done, but it's going to be amazing. Just by the script alone, I can tell you that it's going to be a good Toyland universe movie. So I'll see you in the next update. For me, it's going to be probably a few months, maybe when I get some more figures done. But for you, I mean, maybe just another half a second. Right, back here again. I am currently writing the final fight for Toyland War North. This is still the first draft. I am thinking that I'm going to have to come back at least once or twice to polish out the script. But right now I'm writing the final fight while listening to music, of course, because it's quite silent here. Right now Ben unlocks master control, and he disables all restrictions using code 1010, because 0010 was the one he used in Omnitech. So yeah, I needed a new code just to do the thing. And now he's going to pretty much beat up Trio, and I have to think of a way to do that. That is also epic. I don't know how yet, but I'm guessing you've all seen this already. So yeah, this is me before I write all that epic stuff. Right, I'm back again. I've been sick for almost a week now, so work has been going slowly, slower than usual. But I've just finished making the Batman teaser with him in the light looking at his fist like this. Right now the Ben 10 teaser is up as I'm filming this. This is the figure for the movie, by the way. I mean, you've seen it. This is going to come out after the movie. I don't know why I'm showing you this. But while we look at this shot, I'm just going to talk a bit about Batman behind the scenes. So, I initially wanted Batman to fight to lose Gotham and then go to New City to help the Sentinels. But I did some brainstorming and decided that Batman would actually fall with Gotham rather than leave. So that's what he does. Then while writing the script, I envisioned that Batman could die and it would be a good moment for him. And indeed, this is a story where he could die, but I decided not to kill him because after the finale of the movie, as we enter Phase 3, I want to have a show with him and Harley Quinn where they try to build back Gotham and stuff. I mean, that's pretty much everything I have, everything that I know about that particular show, particular project. I have nothing more than that. But yeah, this is pretty much how I thought of Batman behind the scenes. And once again, this suit is really cool. And this figure is cool, I like it. Right, back with another update. I finished the first draft of the script. It's very, very long. It's looking to be, as I predicted, my longest movie yet. I've sent it over to some people to check the script and give me some feedback so that I can make it better. And right here, well, right now it's a mess. It's just all around messy here, but I am recording the Toyland cast doing the Peacemaker intro. Harley's fallen off, and this has shown me a lot of issues I have with my figures. First of all, Batman's also fallen over. He's very stiff. Iron Man is very loose. Harley is very gummy, very rubbery, so her joints are very bendable, which means she doesn't hold position that well. Vector's broken. I mean, this right arm is just loose, the shoulder's almost coming out, so I'm going to have to make another new Vector figure. I still don't have a Spider-Man figure because I got scammed when I tried to buy the one I wanted to use, and I still don't have any new Robotian figures, so I still have to figure something out for that. But it's coming along. I'm making good progress, at least with the script. I'm happy that it's finished. I'm pretty much happy with it, but if there are some things that people think could be better, I would gladly take that into consideration because I'm just one person. So if only I like the movie, then what's the point? This is pretty much what I wanted to say in this update. So see ya.
Right, it's been, I don't even know how long since the last update. I've made no progress, pretty much. I've made this list of all the figures that I don't have and I need. And as you can see, Kevin there is crossed off. There he is, that's Kevin. Next to Ben, he's a bit taller, but I'm happy with that, because you know Kevin is an alien. Yes, I'm going with the Kevin is an Osmosian point of view. I've had a lot of personal stuff to handle, so this is going to take a very long time to finish or even to get started at this point.
Right, first proper update in a while, at least for me. Of course, here it's going to be like a few seconds. Recently, life's been pretty tough on every level, but I finally managed to get a Spidey figure, and it's this, well, it's disassembled now, but it's the PS4 Spidey, and I'm still going to use the spectacular Spider-Man head because I've had an idea of how I want Spidey to return in Toyland Art, based on this photo right here, this edit of the original Spectacular Spider-Man show, but with the PS4 suit. I don't know why it gives me the vibes of what Disney would do if they brought back Spectacular. I don't know why this is how I feel they would do it with new suit and all, and more mature. But this is what I'm going to base my repaint, because I'm going to be repeating this. This is obviously a knockoff, because I am not that financially stable to be able to pay the actual prices that people are charging, are asking for the actual SH Figuarts PS4 Spider-Man. So I bought a bootleg, but the articulation seems pretty okay. It came with all the accessories, everything. It's not loose, it's not too tight. But I'm just going to give it a repaint, make it match and make it look good. But yeah, this is the inspiration. And now I have finally a Spider-Man. I also have this list. Right, I'm in my kitchen now because I've just finished varnishing this. This is the finished custom of the new Spider-Man figure with the Spectacular head, of course. The head is a bit stubby, you know, the neck is a bit short, but it kind of makes Peter look a bit tougher, a bit stronger. And this is an older Peter Parker. I really like the colors. I made the blue more metallic. I don't know how well it comes on camera. You can see there on the leg. The webs could have been cleaner, but they are fine. And yeah, I'm just really happy with it. New video update. I've finished the diamond head custom, and it's the wrong shade of green, but it's still a pretty shade of green. I mean, yeah. I also love the blue highlight shade thing I got for his torso. So yeah, that's one alien down. I'm also watching the new season of My Adventures with Superman, and while I don't have it open, I've also added a scene of Tepig and Pipig, these two little guys, because I realized I just completely forgot about them when writing the script. So I wrote a scene with them just so that people know what happens to them. They're not a big part of the movie, but they had to be there, you know. So, Toyland is a much more action-packed movie, which meant that I had to upgrade this guy, well, the former guy that was this, because Alan is not very articulated. This is pretty much it, because I can't really move his legs or he falls off. So, after the process of decapitation, I made this, which is much more articulated and much more proportionate. I mean, no more Rob Liefeld chest. But it's a hassle to get the head to fit, because it looks weird with a neck, and for now this is the best I can get. If my camera will focus, there you go. Which is not bad, but not ideal. So I've just been taking my X-Acto knife into this guy's head, doing that gigantic hole. That was not there. That's been a hell of a process. Wish me luck. You are witnessing the scene of a murder. This used to be Alan. I mean, it still is, just decapitated, because here is his head, severed off. I am building a new Alan, as you can see, much more articulated, because I need the articulation for the action scenes that come in War on Earth. Pretty much the same details, more normal proportions, which I think will be very weird to see, but the head looks alright. I mean, it's not pushed in right now, but it looks alright on there, and it's definitely going to be more articulated. And also, you might hear some sounds from the outside because I have my window open, but this is version 3 of my grey and blue Batman, and the paint is horrendous. I mean, the colors are alright, but it's peeling off everywhere. It's not rubbing off, if you can believe it. It's peeling off, like straight off. I don't know what to do. The head is the same, but even on the head is peeling off, which has not been a problem on the first two iterations. This is the Bruce Wayne head. This is actually okay. This does not have any damage, but this is weird. I don't know how to fix this. I think it's the new varnish I'm using that's creating a chemical reaction with the paint. It's definitely the new primer because I've been using the same. Or would you guess that's a BMW? Anyways, I've been using the same acrylic paint for years and I've had no problem. I don't know what's going on. And that's pretty much the reason why I'm holding off on painting Alan, because I don't trust the primer, because this is also a figure with very tight articulation, and while I did sand it and prepare it and I did the same with Batman and it's still peeling off. I don't know what this is going to be. This was Batman before I remade Batman. I don't know what to do. I have to buy a new primer, I guess, which is problematic because this movie is already so expensive, because I have to buy a lot of new figures. I have to buy, well, a primer. I have to make the sets. I have a lot of stuff to do. Right, so I'm working now on the more articulated Alan. Here's the head with some primer on it. Speaking of primer, what is this? The paint, as you can see, is just peeling off. I mean, not even the paint, this is primer. And it's just peeling off the figure. What is happening? What is going on? And it's mostly on the legs. On the torso it's okay. What's going on? I've had the same problem with Batman. I've had to repaint him almost entirely, except for the blue parts, mostly, because the paint just kept rubbing off. What is happening? I've got no idea. Right, I'm just here doing the voices for the movie. Well, my part, obviously. And I just decided, hey, this could maybe be a interesting thing to show. So I'm here in the Google Docs, in the script, as you can see there. And I'm doing Rhino's voices right now. So I'm using the find function to find the words in the gigantic script, because it's long. And here's the process. So I have this line here, the don't mention it line, and I open Audacity and I record. Don't mention it. And then I have to check how it sounds. Now, of course, I can't show you this because I have my headset on. It sounds good, so then I take this and cut it, and then I take this right here and cut it, because that's just useless. Then I export it. I believe I have the right folder selected. No. So I have to choose the correct one right here. And then I name it. This is going to be Rhino. And he says, don't mention it. And I export it. And that's how I do all the voices for my characters. I just thought it was interesting to show you. Okay, well, this piece of junk is restarting. It's been like this for about 10 minutes. And it's not an update. I had to restart it because the taskbar wasn't opening. I'm just in a continuous war against technology. Anyways, I've just finished Batman. And by finished I mean I glued his cape on. I'm pretty okay with it, but there's still some paint with some issues with the paint. As you can see, it's gone there on the cheek, so I'm going to have to repaint that. I've decided that this concoction of a body is going to become Nightwing. It's going to require a lot of sanding to get rid of this residual cardboard, I guess, and I'm going to have to make his ass more worthy of being Nightwing, because that is flat. Rhino is coming along. Here's his head. There you go. That's Rhino. So far, I would say he's a bit more than half done. I've just bought a new box of epoxy, so I'm going to finish him today. I need to buff. Oh, there goes the head. I need to buff his legs here in the front so that they look more like rhino legs. I need to do this basically to connect this point to this, the front of the tip of the foot. And because I don't want to use that much epoxy here, and I mean I don't really want this entire thing to weigh 5 kilos, I'm going to use this thing from Uni. It's a press. Just crumble it up, rip it into pieces, and put it here. Then glue it. Tape it with this masking tape because it's all I've got, and then sculpt over that. And this is still restarting. Great. Right, so I'm starting work on Nightwing after I've just finished Rhino and also glued the cape on Batman. In fact, let me show you how that went. So there's Batman with his cape firmly attached, and yeah, he's quite good. I'm happy with him. He's a bit tall, but I think it will work. It makes Damien look like even more of a child, and Vector being a short king, as he is in fact a fake Wolverine, in case you didn't figure that out. And there's Rhino, and he's looking quite a bit wobbled right now, if that's a word, but his head does not attach properly. I have to figure out a way to do that. He's quite big. Let's see if I can move Bubble. He's even got the focus. He's even got the Rhino toes. He's not that tall. I mean, he's on the old Captain Island body. He's barely taller than Harley, I think. Oh, there's Kangoo. Let's see if I can squeeze her in there. Okay, he's not barely taller. Like, Harley's at shoulder height, but he could be taller, but I guess it works. In Spectacular, he was just a man covered in basically cement, so it works. He is also taller than Spidey, and that's all that matters, honestly. But back to here, I'm working on a Nightwing right now. I don't have a head. I mean, I have a spare head, but it's from a Power Rangers figure, and it's a black dude. Nothing wrong with them, of course, but you know, it doesn't look like Nightwing. It doesn't look like Dick Grayson. Of course, he's the Kid Bash from like the Hawkeye, and the legs from my Raimi custom that is now gone. And I'm using this Spider-Man head as a base. This is the Spider-Man head from the new Spider-Man figure, and I've pulled out the SH Figure Arts adapter, made it a big hole in there, stuffed some Play-Doh in there, and now it fits. Of course, it looks goofy, it looks too small, but it's going to be better because I'm going to sculpt over it. This is just as a base, so that I can get proper articulation and fitment. You can see it works. So yeah. Now it's on to sending all this residue off, and I'm out of rough sandpaper. I'm out of blades for my exact knife. I just broke one, so I have to use this buffer, which I usually use for finishing touches, you know, on the figures, but this time it's going to be this whole thing. I cannot wait. So I was working on Nightwing. Here he is. I used some cardboard that I reinforced with super glue to make his suit details, like this logo, these lines that go on the arms, and these knee pads. And I've also got his head, which I think is pretty okay. I'm not that happy with the hair, but I think I can make it look better with paint. I'm happy with the actual face shape though. However, I also worked on Vector. Wait a second. Yeah, there you go. I accidentally dropped in my face while the epoxy was still hardening. So this is the new head sculpt. You can see I've attached a typical neck joint. I mean, typical. This should be the typical main neck joint. Redefined his face, his fangs, his eyes, ears, Wolverine ears, things. I'm going to set him aside there because I'm using the old the first blue and gray suit Batman, which has got a hole there. I have to fix that, to remake him with better articulation. Why? Because I watched Deadpool and Wolverine last night. This is a good indication of when this part of the video is filmed. I've also made the claws, which are longer than the last ones, but I made a mistake. I left the sticks in while the epoxy was hardening, and now they're stuck there. So just for security I had to super glue them. This sucks because in the movie there is a scene where Vector gets his claws out, like that's actually the line I've written in the script. And now they can't really grow out, so I'm going to have to CG them. But I'm still really happy that I'm doing this. I might even change the suit color. I mean, I might keep it orange, perhaps not this radioactive orange. I want to add more detail, make it more interesting. This is the part of the video where I explain why Vector looks however he ends up looking in the movie, because it's going to be different than he looked last time in the Sentinel suit. Right, I've got Vector mostly assembled here. I still need to glue his shoulder pads, but I'm leaving that until after he's already painted. That is a big splotch of super glue, and I actually should move Vector away from that, because yeah, it seems super glue has a personal issue with me. But I've decided on a final design for Vector, based a lot around what's already on the figure, because I don't have a lot of epoxy left or money, and I don't really want to sculpt anything more. So this is going to be the final look of Vector. Very Wolverine-y. Even has the yellow and blue. Well, the yellow is a bit orangey, but I like how it looks. Okay, Nightwing's done. There he is in all his glory. I can confirm he's also gotten a butt improvement. If my camera would focus, let's see, more contrast, there you go. And I've also finished Vector. I've given up on the shoulder pads. He kinda even looks meaner this way, buffer even. Would you agree? Claws are long. Suit is actually really kinda nice looking, I've gotta say, and the head is definitely an improvement, so yeah, I'm happy. Right, I'm now starting the storyboards. This is the first scene with the frog jumping from behind the building, and I'm here going to draw cannon mold on its tail. Here I've got the script on one screen and Bakugan on the other, because why not? That's Preyas, he's gonna go away. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of work to do, especially if I keep drawing in this much detail, but I have to, because I don't trust my mind to remember exactly what I was thinking. I've also made a list of every single set I need for the movie, so that's a lot. That's a lot, yeah. Wish me luck. Right, still storyboarding here, still at the first scene, because this movie is long and every scene is pretty elaborate. I mean, not every scene, most scenes. I am here at the part of the fight where Diamond Head helps Kevin and Gwen. Yeah, that's meant to be Kevin and that's Gwen. Diamond Head actually looks kinda good here, for just being a storyboard for me to use. I have decided that this is going to be the figure for the Robotian commander with the guns. So yeah, this is still Diamond Head, who is missing a bit of his cheek after a close encounter with wood. He fell in my display once, and that's the damage. That's the damage he got. The storyboard for this scene alone is already 2 pages long, and I'm guessing it will be 4 pages in total, if not maybe more, due to the fight between Diamond Head and Trio, which actually doesn't last that long, but yeah, I just wanted to update you on this. Right, back with another update. I've decided to make some room on my shelf, and by that I mean to kidnap some figures so that I can transform them into other figures. These are the 4 figures. Well, yeah, there's 4 of them. And here on the list I've checked out who's going to turn into what. Alfred is going to be Freddy. No, Freddy is going to turn into Alfred, and by Freddy I mean Freddy Krueger. Here he is. I've undressed him of his sweatshirt. Is it called a sweatshirt? I don't know. And just for now, I don't think this is going to be final. I've put Jason Voorhees. Is that how I pronounce his name? I don't know. I don't watch horror movies. But I put this on him to get some kind of an idea. Now Freddy's pretty short, although still kind of tall. But he's going to be a decent Alfred, I think. I was very excited about the legs because I don't have to paint them really. They're already black. Now of course I'm going to have to smooth out all the wrinkles, all the burn marks, whatever these are. And then most excitingly, I'm going to combine Jason and She-Hulk to make forearms. So I've got here the torso from Jason, and Jason is really tall. Like if I also get his legs, just give me a second. Yeah, he's quite big. Wait, camera was pointing the wrong way. He's quite big. Let's compare him to Ben. Well, we can't really see it because it's dark, but you can already tell. That's Ben on the right, and this is Jason on the left. He's going to be a decent forearms. He is actually going to be taller than Triro. And I've already marked here the spots where I'm going to install She-Hulk's arms, which are these ones. Yeah. Let me see if I can mock up. Yeah, this is going to be forearms. Of course, I'm going to buff him up a bit, especially here at the top, because he looks a bit too skinny, and I'm going to have to sculpt the new head. These hands right here are also not from Jason. These are spares from the figure I used to make Batman. But I think these work quite well, because yes, they are female hands, but it's She-Hulk, so they are quite muscular. Perhaps a bit long, maybe, but I think that will actually help. So yeah, these legs are so weird. Let me show you the articulation on them. You have this peg here that just provides rotation at just above the ankle, and then this connection here, wow, the lighting is bad, is both like a hinge, so you can move it. This is hard with one hand. You can move it back and forth, but also pivot. This is quite an interesting system. I've never seen something like this. Oh, come on. I swear to God, there's like an emergency every 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to have to do quite a lot of work on this. I'm currently waiting on my Dremel to arrive so that I can drill the holes there and plug in the hands, and then I can get on to sculpting, and this is going to require a lot of sculpt work, but I think it's going to turn out pretty good. This is the Batgirl custom I've made. I don't think I've showcased it here, but it might. Actually, definitely won't end up in the collection balance. I don't know why I made a Batgirl. Well, I remember why. Originally she was going to be part of the Bat family in the movie, but the movie was getting too crowded. So I'm going to repurpose this and shorten her a bit, because Haley Steinfeld is quite tall. She's going to be Gwen, like Gwen Tennyson, Ben's cousin. She's quite well articulated, which is going to help with the fight scenes. And then I also have Null, who I have no use for. I've used his other head with the closed mouth to make Norman Osborn's head, but I don't have any plans for Null. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him into the big villain for the second half of this universe, the next two phases. I'm not going to tell you who he is going to be quite yet, but this is a teaser. So yeah, this is pretty much all the planning I have done. I'm getting work done, I'm making progress. I've also made progress with the storyboard, so scene 1 is completely storyboarded, and it's big. It's like, yeah, 1, 2, 3 and a bit pages long. Just one scene of storyboard. Never had that happen before. scene 2, 3, 4, and I think I've also made 5. Yeah, they're all storyboarded. So I'm pretty much just the figures away from making the first half of the movie, which I can't wait to start shooting. I have achieved progress, and I think you're going to have to excuse the noises coming from outside, but I have bought this. This is a Dremel, but not the one you usually see with the customizers. This is one that you use for manicure, and it's actually quite neat. Wait, let me show you how it works. It vibrates. Well, it actually rotates, which causes a vibration. And this has helped me a lot in doing this. This is forearms. Well, it's not forearms yet. It's got quite a long way to go. But yeah, I've managed to make the arms go in. I've also sculpted the chest and the second chest because with 2 more arms you need 2 more chest muscles, because you also use chest muscles when you use your hands, your arms, if you didn't know. I've also sanded this quite a lot, and I've still got quite a lot of sculpting work to do. Also hands for here and here, feet, because I'm not going to get rid of some perfectly good boots, I'm just going to sculpt new feet for him, and also the head. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this works. I've also somehow made a butterfly joint in there. Somehow. Well, it's not quite a butterfly joint, it mostly just comes out, but I can fix that. I've made progress, I'm happy. Alright, another update. Definitely not sponsored. He's finished. Of course, the paint has already started to chip on him. I don't know what to do. If I put on varnish, the varnish melts away seemingly. The primer sucks, and the paint just does not want to stick on. But I am, however, happy with him. Let's move him here. I'm happy with the head sculpt, especially, and with the feet, with the legs. I think they look quite accurate. He's a bit thin, but I think that's okay, because this was already hard to logistically achieve. Yeah, pretty happy. You can also see that I've kept his tattoos from the Heroes United crossover, which I actually quite liked. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions, but I like the tattoos, because on a shirtless forearms you need something there, which is why I've also added these black armbands. But yeah, this feels like quite a complete design, to me at least. You can even see that I've also hinted at the beard he has in Omniverse. Here is, it's not as prominent of a beard, but it's still there. And oh shit, looks like not all the paint has dried. Another character finished. It's Gwen. Now, I noticed she does seem a little stumpy, little chubby, little weird, I know, I guess, but I like how she turned out. I like her. Some details. She has the same, wow, that's not the focus I wanted. The same green eyes as Ben. I tried to give her an outfit that seems also mature enough for her age, because she's like 17, 18, maybe, but still resembles her overall vibe. I've used the Disney Plus Kate Bishop body, but shortened it here at the at the thighs. Yeah, that's what they're called. I've also given her the cat there on the chest. I hope my camera takes that well. So yeah, well articulated, which I'm excited to use in the fight scenes. Yeah, that's Gwen. That is Gwen. Right, another update. I've put the order on for a new Spider-Man figure, which is completely useless for the movie. But you know, it's the new Superior Spider-Man. I have to have it. And I've also downloaded the new Movavi video editor, 24. I was using version 15 before. This is version 24. It's so much better. I it's so much better. But it's going to take some use to because it's very different. Yeah, I'm working now on the recap, the story so far video that recaps the first two phases, because I thought that would be a good thing for people to have. Right, progress update. I've written down every single set thing I have to make, and I started designing them. Lightly, and these are still not complete. But yeah, this is the Gotham Bank inspired from the old show, the animated one, and this is inspired by the Arkham games one. And then I have decided to update the intro, thanks to some advice. So I opened up Movavi, and it said that my activation key is no longer valid due to a refund. No, I've not issued a refund, so here I am writing an email. Well, I'm going to blur this, but here I am writing an email asking for my activation key back. I've also made a little update to Alan here, if the camera will focus. I've glued his head on because it was glued with Play-Doh so that it was still posable, but it just kept falling off, and I figured this was the best way. So now he's going to have to move like Batman in '89, all torso, and this is tricky to do with one hand. And now I have my tablet here plugged in because I'm going to redesign Proto Ratchet to update him for the movie. Right, status update. I've had some friends over to help me with some designs, especially for the Sentinels Tower, and we've reached some pretty nice conclusions, but I don't think it's on this paper. And I've also started working on some of the sets. I've made Mr. Smoothie. Let me just show you. Right, so here in my drawer where I keep all my movie stuff, including all this cardboard, this is Mr. Smoothie. It's just a pink building. This is mostly the angle it's going to be seen from, so yeah. This is, I'm pretty proud of this, the logo. It's a bit dark, but it's okay. This was a pain in the ass, but I'm happy with it. I've also started work on this miniature of the Wayne Tower. It's a miniature because the only shot is going to be in is the one where it's destroyed, and I think also establishing shots for when we're in Gotham. It's turning out pretty well. Of course, it's not painted yet, but the shape of it is there, and it's looking good. And one more thing I did was shoot the first scene of the movie. Well, the first that I've shot, definitely not the first in the movie. Scene 13, the one with Tappig and Pipig. The only one in which they appear in this movie. So yeah, finally making some good progress. I've also hired, it's pro bono, but I've hired some voice actors for some of the characters. For example, Bubo, and I think Gwen and Kevin too, but I'm not extremely sure on that. I've also got this silver figure. I don't know when I'm going to use it, but I have to use it now that I've got it, right? I've also placed an order for a Human Torch figure, which is going to be pretty decent for Heat Blast, as I really just cannot find a Sunfire body at a decent price. So Human Torch is going to have to do. But yeah. Right, update. Here I've got the old Heat Blast, because after a lot, and I mean a lot of hassling and being angry at people for being incompetent, I finally got the Human Torch base body, and I'm turning him into Heat Blast. It's going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it, and with the way he shines. Yeah, that's cool. So I haven't done much behind the scenes, as this is now just past the Christmas holiday, so I've been home where there isn't as much to do. I've bought this table though, which is going to be used in scenes because I need a table. I've also bought that Rouge the Bat figure, and this used to be a silver figure, now it's Eon, from the Sonic fan made Flash game Sonic or Final Fantasy Sonic X, which I grew up with. I don't know if you guys remember it, but I certainly do. So I'm planning to adapt him, and mostly I've just been planning out what comes next after War on Earth. However, I did finish. You can't really see him though. Let me. I did finish this yesterday when or not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Not that it matters on this video. This my custom hit blast, and he looks pretty good. I'm really proud of him. And yes, he's translucent. He looks quite good with the light behind him even. He's kind of hard to stand up, but with a bit of elbow grease you can do it. So one more alien, which gets me closer to shooting more scenes. But yeah, not much progress, but it's steadily going upwards. Right, new update. I'm getting a bit sidetracked here as I'm working on a custom shadow figure using this Jax Sonic as a base, which is actually identical to my other Sonic, which I'm leaving as is. I did, however, start working on the script for what comes next. I'm going to cover them. And I have filmed the scene using the new Alan figure, and yes, the articulation is worth it. So I am making progress, even though I'm getting sidetracked with a lot of new things. I've also ordered a new Iron Man figure, so that one over there that you can barely see is going to... Wait, actually, can I... No, I cannot change it from the camera. But yeah, I'm getting a new Iron Man figure. I'm not going to use that one because it's quite big. I think it's just a bit shorter than Trier over there. And I was thinking of using the Silver Centurion, but I decided not to. It's not really that well articulated. So actually let me... Oh, it's also really sticky. It stuck itself to Vince. And the cable fell down. Oh, that's it. But now that I have this, this will join the ranks of the Robotian army. So I'm going to put him over there until I get customizing him. I might do the same with the All Iron Man armor, but I'm not sure yet, so he's staying right over there. But yeah, making progress. Right, here I am next to my display. I've put Shadow here. I've converted the Silver Centurion to a Trier Soldier. He's sitting over there because that space is pretty much filled out. I still need to find a head for that guy. And I have gotten my new Iron Man figure. Here it is, the Marvel Legends Mark 70. I have done the panel lines. I've done a black wash and painted some of the details, like the eyes in light blue, and also the lights on the body. Here, finally it's focused. So it's looking quite good. Let me change my hand. Okay, there we go. And here he will go in the display right behind Spider-Man. So I'm liking this even as a display. This could use some work. I've also, this doesn't really have any connection to Toyland War on Earth, but I have finished the script for the Deadpool versus Moon Knight movie, and it's barely focusing on them, but there they are. And I'm pretty excited for it because I like how it turned out. But yeah, right now I'm going to shoot a few more scenes and the work goes on. I came up with a plan. So here I've got the list of everything else figure-wise that I need for the movie. The David Hall head, for the final scene. Mary Jane, Chroma Stone and Proto Ratchet. Now for Mary Jane I want a new female body, ideally. If not, then plan B is using the old Daphne Black Widow figure and somehow making it work. For Chroma Stone I actually have no idea because I needed a base body that's quite slim, and of course there's going to be a lot of sculpt work. I also kind of want to make the crystals to be translucent. I don't know exactly how I will do that, but I will find a way eventually. and Proto Ratchet. Now for Proto Ratchet I could have used a Marvel Legends 6-inch figure, make it work somehow, but while working on the scene where Gwen and Kevin get captured, which is the most recent one that I worked on, I realized I don't really need all that many Robotian figures, because I can make it work with a few, with a bit of creativity. So here is a disassembled one. It's this guy right here with the triangle on the chest. I'm going to transform into Proto Ratchet. I chose this guy because he's got this chest piece, and as you can see here on the design, on the concept I've made, he does have that chest piece there. Now I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't think I'm going to make them translucent because it would just be a lot of work, and right now the only solution I have is hot glue. But I am going to have to give him a new head. Yeah, this is the figure without a head that I've had to Photoshop the head for the shot. I'm going to add, or at least try to add articulation here at the waist, just to make him more poseable. He doesn't have elbow joints, and I don't really have a method to add them. He does have this calf rotation here, and he should be good enough for the scene. So I'm going to get working on him. I am right now working on Proto Ratchet. Here is the figure with the finished sculpt, and like the first 1.5 coats of silver, the head is done. It came out pretty well, I think. But I don't know who decided that silver should require so many layers to stick to a figure. It's unbelievable. Right, new update time. I'm right now making the camera for Peter here, for the scene where Stormwall 3 is being inaugurated, opened. I don't know, it's a prison. I'm making some real good progress here with the scenes. I've even got 2 of them ready. This is the setup for this scene. Of course, it's missing Peter, who's going to be right there, but this is pretty much a decent crowd. This is about how it's going to look like, so it looks well enough. This is the first scene I'm shooting with the new Vector figure, but he doesn't do much in this scene, so it doesn't matter. Some Easter eggs. We have Drillo, who's going to be important after this movie. Kevin, because I needed a human. Raven, who didn't make her debut yet. We have Grandpa Max. We have Matt Murdock. Alfred, who shouldn't be here. The old Drillo with the Bruce Wayne head. And Polka, Squirtle, Meowth, Vince, and Alan. And that, of course, is Tony Stark. This is the Stormwall 3 logo, using the font for the Sentinels logo, the new one, and of course funded by Stark Industries. So I'm just waiting for the glue to dry, and then I'm going to start shooting. Right, I'm getting ready to shoot scene 20, also known in my head at least as the Batman scene, because it's the Batman scene. I mean, it's one of my favorite scenes that I've ever written. It shows Batman at his lowest, but also at his most, I don't know what to call it, but he just won't give up. The feeling where you don't want to give up. And I just wanted to talk about, before I start shooting, this here, and also another figure. I'm going to leave this last. First of all, this figure. This is my Harley figure, out of a Spider-Gwen Venom body and a Hades Steinfeld head. I love this. It looks good, apart from the paint job, but that kinda happens when you articulate figures. I love this figure. I wouldn't replace it. But it's a pain in the ass to film. Well, first of all, these, but I can get away with them. But her joints are gummy as all hell. And she's kind of tricky to move. And just as I said that, she moves okay on camera in my hand. But her joints are very gummy. And also she's kind of hard to stand. Well, right now her legs are not in the best position to do that.
Yeah, there we go. So in this position, you'd figure the fit should be enough to stand her, right? And she does. But if I want to articulate her on the spot, like I do when I do stop motions, she just falls. And that's annoying. I mean, it's not really a issue unique to Harley. Same goes for Alan here, same goes for Nightwing, even for the Batman figure. Also Ben. Ben is not here. Sometimes it even applies to Sonic here. To Bobo not so much, I don't know why. Maybe it's the lack of spikes on the back of his head. But then we get to this figure. You can already tell something's wrong. This is the head. I put epoxy in there to make the ball joint hold, but I might have to redo that. Or I might have to buy a new figure entirely because, well, the head, first of all, doesn't really stay on. Right now the ball from the ball joint is in the socket. Doesn't really stay on. I've had this fall just about every frame when I was shooting Spider-Man. This arm comes out really easy. I mean, I didn't even try that much. It comes out just when articulated when I try to move it up. This leg just pops out. That actually required no effort at all. Somehow this leg joint is also loose because the leg. Wait, let me show you. See, like I need those intermediary positions to animate. I can just have it go from here to here in an instant. It looks okay like this, but it won't stay here. I need at least this. Okay, camera focus. This is also a problem I have with the camera right now. It focuses really weirdly, but yeah, it won't stay right there. So this is a piece of oh, I'm going to have to beep that out. Nice. So yeah, I can't wait to finish this movie, and then I can't wait to spend money again on another new Spider-Man figure. I think I'm going to stick with Marvel Legends. I love the possibility of imports, but yeah, not good. This is sturdy. This is a Marvel Legends. It's sturdy. It's sturdy. This won't break on me. Even the head pops off really hard. And it just flew away. I'm going to have to look for that. But yeah, in case people are wondering why Marvel Legends is still going when there's so many good imports, this might be it. So I was shooting at this here shot, so not long from the finish, you see, and this motherfucker's arm broke off. And I can't seem to glue it back on. Of course, there will be no more biceps swivel, but at least he'll have an arm so I can finish shooting. But it seems like it won't glue back on. I don't know what to do. So I've managed to finally finish shooting a scene. I did some trick. I've hidden Batman's missing arm in the final shot. I'm now editing the photos, and you can see there, pretty much all over the figure, that the paint was starting to rub. Now I am going to have to fix that in the shots before his fight with Trio. I'm going to keep them after because I think they look a bit nice as battle damage. So if you're wondering why they're still here, that's why. And yeah, this is pretty much the final the final frame where Batman's arm is still attached via a pin to his shoulder, I guess. Right now he is sitting bombarded with glue on this part here, and I'm hoping he makes a full recovery. New update. I've made quite some progress with shooting. More than half the movie done. I think about 3/4 of the movie is shot right now. I'm pretty much ready to finish shooting everything apart from 2 or 3 scenes. I've got the Wayne Tower right here. And wait, where is it? Oh, I had a paper somewhere around here with the figures I needed, which were Chroma Stone, MJ, and a head for David Hall. Now the head I'm going to figure out on the spot because it's not really that much work. Chroma Stone
I am actually going to do using perspective shots, so using the Bandai figure, because they work pretty well. Let's see if I can find an example here. Yeah, here we go. Vector and the Bandai Accelerate. They are pretty much to scale. Of course, Accelerate is a bit short, but you don't see actually how short, because this leg is hidden, so your brain um, thinks this one is just a bit farther behind. He's actually raised on top of a something, I can't remember what. So he's taller, he's more towards the camera than Vector, so I put the focus on the camera somewhere in between their two planes, so they're both kind of in focus, but none of them is more in focus than the other, so it works. I'm going to do the same with Chroma Stone, so that saves me money and time for a figure. For Mary Jane, I still have to buy a figure. I think I'm going to use an America Chavez, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Scene number one, let's see if I can find the storyboard. There you go, scene number one, right? Starts with a frame of Bellwood and a giant frog with Dr. Animal on it. I do not have a giant frog. I don't know why I wrote this into the script knowing that I don't have a giant frog. I don't know where I'm going to get a giant frog from. So this is pretty much what's stopping me from shooting scene number one, because I have Ben, I have Heat Blast, I have Kevin, I have Gwen, I have Dr. Animal. I'm just going to use the Playmates one, or whatever the company is that made the reboot toys. What else? Wildvine. I just have everything I need. Trio, yeah. Except for the goddamn frog. In other news, here is the set from my latest scene. It's the one where Alan, who's now fallen over, gets Triro's location, and all the other sentinels not. I don't know if I already said this in another update, but Hulk's given up. I've had to hot glue his hand pretty much stuck there because it kept... it didn't actually keep falling, it just fell out, it broke off. And his hip was already damaged, it fell out again, and I also had to glue that in with hot glue. This was the Sentinel's Tower, but I had to make it fall for that one scene. Yes, I built this entire miniature just for one shot, more or less. But this is going to be useful in the final scene, because this is going to be the Sentinel's logo that Bubo picks up and looks at it with like anger, melancholy, whatever. Chiro is a bit of a pain to use because let me actually use this. This arm is articulated, but only so much, so it actually pops out really easy. It's not hard to pop it back in because this was a Build-A-Figure, but the articulation is a bit limited. He doesn't really stand that well on these feet, but I make it work, and his head has become really wobbly, but it won't pop off. So I still have to figure out how to take this off for the one scene in the end when Ben 10 unmasks him. I've also just realized while shooting that he's got no alternate hands. So this is all I got. And yeah. And speaking of figures breaking, yeah, his knee just popped. No, I don't know why. He didn't have this problem before. I managed to shoot quite a few scenes with him before it popped off, but now it just pops. You can actually see here the difference if this would focus. It's missing those two things there. The plastic broke off or whatever it was that kept the pins inside, so now it just pops off really easily here at the back. It's fixable. He still stands. I can still articulate it. I just have to be a bit more careful, because if I bend it and I'm not careful, it just pops out again. Paint rub, of course, here, elbows, but that's just to be expected with my customs. I've also managed to fix Spidey in just one aspect. This here still pops out. This here still pops out, but I filled the head. I took out the epoxy, filled it with super glue, and now it's a much more secure connection there. So yeah, well, now he's hunched, but there we go. So the movie is pretty close to being over, but I still have some work to do, because what I'm left with are the scenes that involve Mary Jane and the longest scenes in the movie. So yeah, it's it's coming together. It's happening. It's been a while. I think it's been a year and a half since I started writing the script. So yeah. On set update, I'm shooting scene number 11, which is when Robin and Ben show up and help Batman and Nightwing fight Robotians, but then Triro shows up. Now Triro is currently under forearms because that's where I stopped in the middle of shooting because I need to take a break. This is the storyboard. I am up to this point, so I've still got this much to go. It's going to take a while, and it's not the only scene that is more than one page when storyboarded. So yeah, lots of work. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but my light has started to itself. But one thing I would like to point out, let's see, okay, that's not good, but it happens. This guy is so well articulated, and he actually lends himself really good to animation. His articulation is really smooth, apart from the elbows on the upper arms. Come on, focus. I love working with him. I love his waist articulation because it means I can make the punches look even better. So yeah, I like this figure a lot. At the time, I've decided to take on the roles of Batman and Nightwing, for Batman doing a really low voice like this. And when I'm actually Batman, not Bruce, I've also put a little bit of distortion on. That's just to signify the modulator that he uses. And for Nightwing, I'm doing my normal voice, but a bit lowered, just so that it's different from any other characters, which allowed me to quite fill out the scenes I've already done. So I'm making progress. If I keep going like this, the movie should be out around May. So I'm trying to get that. But of course, you already know how that ends up because you've seen the movie. Right, I'm storyboarding whatever scenes I have left for the movie. And I've come up to the Alan dies scene. So this is where he falls down to his knees, bleeding. I actually have to write bleeding there because I also use these storyboards for editing, which is why I'm doing this, a guide for where the bleeding will be. Mostly on the face because on the body I can pretty much improvise, and also the figure is pretty worn out, so the red is showing underneath. But this is important, at least for me, because I have to keep it consistent. I'm adding the blood in Photoshop. I'm not actually going to paint blood on the figure because it's a nice figure, and I think I'm going to keep it like it is right now because I'm going to feel some nostalgia down the line. So I have here a reference of how he looks because I'm too lazy to grab the figure from my display. And I'm going to use this here red pen to draw the blood. Now I haven't drawn anything yet, but one thing I really want is just focus some blood here from the corner of his mouth. I think that looks cool. So yeah, this is how I do it. Interlude because Lucio is stupid, so I'm coming up to the final scene of the movie, pretty much final action scene of the movie, because the funeral is actually the last scene, but this is where Ben disables all restrictions. So I'm looking over the next paragraph. Come on. Ben transforms into Echo Echo. La 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 la. Quickly transforms into Cannonball, that's okay. Tra la 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 la. Hit blast, la 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 la. Then transforms into Big Chill. And then later into Diamond Head. Now, Diamond Head, Hit Blast, and Cannonball are all fine. All good. Echo Echo, I don't really have a figure of officially. I have a custom one that I made myself, little for the old scale, but I can make it work. Although Big Chill. Now I don't have a Big Chill figure. I'm not going to buy an old Bond, I figured, just for one scene. Screw that, for one or a few shots. And I really don't want to CGI him in, because I'm not going to do a good job. I know my skills, I know what I'm capable of. What sucks even more, I do not have an alien that can replicate the power of freezing Triro. So I'm going to have to change the script pretty much last minute. I now kind of understand why Marvel does what it does, but I'm pretty confident that I'm going to do a better job. I've gotten to the scene. Now, for some reason, I decide to highlight in brown whatever dark red this is. It doesn't show up on camera. The scenes or the things that I've deleted. I don't know why, because I'm the only one who has access to these, apart from the actors. But yeah, I just cut out the entire big chill shot. That wouldn't have worked visually. So I wrote in Frankenstrike, because he hasn't showed up so far, and he just zaps Triro. I was going to say stuns Triro, because, you know, electric robot things, but he already stuns Triro here. So he zaps him. It does the exact same thing, but it had to look different. Again, I don't know why, because I'm the only one saying this. I'm mentally insane. Right, you're going to have to ignore the music in the background for this one, because I'm lazy. I'm shooting this scene. It's the one where Alan dies, by the way. Triro just pushed Iron Man to the side. I have to shoot Alan next, but I just want to take a break. For this hand, during the hand-to-hand combats in between Triro and Iron Man, as I said, Triro only comes with this pair of hands. Why isn't it focusing? Come on. A grabby hand, which can be kind of used as a fist, and a wide open hand, which cannot be used as a fist. So I borrowed this hand here from Superior Spider-Man, the new one. It actually fit surprisingly well. And during the assemble scene, while doing the Capcom pose, Spidey fell over Bubble, who fell over and knocked Alan, who with his sword grabbed Harley, and Harley pushed over Hulk. So this is a problem again. Right. I've put some actual, I think, industrial glue on the hip here pretty much everywhere. It's glued, but actually not. It's just kind of hanging there. I don't think it's dried yet fully, because it works sort of like contact cement. If you know what that is, I'm not going to explain it right here. So I'm going to pretty much cover this whole hip line in hot glue and hope it sticks, because if it doesn't, I hate this Hulk figure. I'm getting ready to shoot the penultimate scene of the movie, and as you can see here, it's the one where David Hall's face appears. So I had to do David Hall's head for the figure. I'm eating a burger while this is standing by my side. This is the David Hall head. It looks pretty human. You can see there, I've given him a scar. No exact reason why, so I'm going to give the canon reason here. That's from the last fight, from Benton Tech. An orangey hue to the hair, like he had originally. The base is a Freddy Krueger head. So yeah, this will do. This looks fine. Just finished shooting the penultimate scene. It's a mess here because I just moved everything onto the table so that I don't have things on the floor, because the table is pretty low. I managed to somehow get Triro's head off, but not the way I wanted to, because that's pretty much the whole joint. It even ripped because the plastic is so soft. Why do you do this, Marvel Legends? If there is one part of the action figure where the plastic should be as hard as you can, it should be the joints, because this happens. But yeah, the ball is just stuck in there, so pretty much ripped out with the joint. So I had to actually put some tape in there, and the head just kind of stood. Also the chest bit here, the triangle bit, fell off, but I managed to super glue it back on. So pretty much the climax, the big finale battle thing of the movie is over. But I still have some scenes to shoot. And I think I will maybe finish shooting with the scenes with Mary Jane, because I still don't have a Mary Jane figure. So I just finished editing the photos for the penultimate scene, and I just wanted to show off a cool detail, because I don't know if many people will see it or will appreciate it or whatever, but I'm really proud of it. This. Now this is Echo's power effect that I use. I even curved it around his head to give it more dynamicity. And you'll notice it's not the usual Echo power effect. Actually, let me find a screenshot from the show. Yeah, so you can see in the show it's just a bunch of circles just scaling up as he screams, which is fine, it's cool, but it's kind of hard to do, or at least I don't know how to do. So I use this. This is actually inspired from a sound wave, from like an audio editing or recording app. This is what you'll see, just lines going up and down, and I decided that's what I'm going to use. I think it looks pretty cool, honestly. So yeah, that's it. Right, small update. I've made the Mary Jane figure from an America Chavez body, and this time I'm pretty happy with how she turned out. Let's see if I can find a better background for the focus. You can see I did improve, let's say, her chest proportions. I'm going to leave some space here on the right, because on the last MG figure, people have fairly criticized it for having too big of a chest, amongst other things, but I think this one is pretty well. Only one problem, which is not really that big even. Wait, let me... Right, so here are Peter and Spidey, and here is MJ. Okay, you're going to have to believe me on that, because that figure is a pain in the ass to get to stand. She's taller than Peter. Actually, let me line them up properly. Yeah, but taller than Peter. And since Spidey is pretty much the same height, she's also taller than Spidey. Not that big of an issue. Pretty much handle it with perspective shots. In other news, actually, I've finished the post-credit scene, shooting it. Here's my tripod. It's really, yeah. Here's the new Kangoo figure. In case you couldn't tell, this is Kangoo in the post-credit scene. A bit of a foreshadowing to the future with these two characters that haven't shown up before. With Aeon, I think that's how his name is pronounced. But yeah, Aeon, who's going to be a character in the future, and the same goes for Raven. And Drillo. Here he is. Now, the actual scene is very dark, but I've managed to... this is the light in which I shot it, but I managed to use my phone settings. I'm really pretty glad and happy with these columns that I've made. These are supposed to be like pillars of the temple. This table is supposed to be floating, but I couldn't find a way for it to float on the spot. And also, if it were to be floating, I think pretty much Yoda would not be visible. Same goes for Anchor. Aeon was also too short for the table, so I put him up on that roll of tape, and Yoda on that table that you see in more scenes in the movie. So yeah, this is the sorcerer's temple pretty much. So these are all sorcerers with this guy and that guy. That's in my universe. If you don't think it's right, especially with these two guys right here, I will make it make sense. So I am just about to shoot the final scene of the movie. I mean, the final scene and the final one that I have to shoot. I honestly can't believe I'm up to this point, because This project took a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of logistics and energy. Actually, it's just a lot of energy to finish. But as you can see, I needed a casket for Alan because he's dead. So here's the casket. I mean, I'm going to put some flowers on it and things, but this is the actual casket out of cardboard. It's made to fit Alan just right. Cardboard and hot glue, you don't need anything more, honestly. It's the secret to making good props, good set, whatever. So if you want to make stop motions, this would be my advice. Lots of cardboard. I actually have a big, like 1 meter tall box full of cardboard from many sources, and just get a hot glue gun. I have a cheap one, like a really cheap one, and it works it just has to heat up silicone. You don't need a fancy one. So yeah, time to shoot. And with that, the movie is over. In the shooting phase, I mean. This is the last shot I had here. This line just signifies the end of the movie. I'm not going to put a line on screen, or maybe I will. But yeah, shooting is over. Here are all the figures, and I've already contacted some voice actors. I only basically need actors for Ben 10 and Harley Quinn at this point, so this movie is getting done. Oh, okay. I think this is going to work. Of course, this has no articulation. It's very floppy. But it was either this, waiting to find an actual giant frog, or a bee, because I also found a bee that was pretty much this size, and I thought about using it because, you know, it's mutant animals, so I could have customized it. But hey, don't headbutt the camera. Don't do it. But yeah, this is going to be good enough. Right, I think we're due for a new update, as it's now almost May. And I thought I would have the movie done by now, but unfortunately, I'm still missing voice actors. I need one for Ben 10, and for Harley Quinn, I'm waiting for the voices for Tony Stark and for Kevin. For Harley Quinn, I've almost got an actress ready, but it's still not 100% sure. And for Ben 10, it seems no one is really responding to my casting calls and on the sites I've tried. So right now I'm going to do a bit of research to see what I could do with my voice, even if it means maybe using some effects in Audacity, maybe using a voice modifier, though I don't really 100% agree with that. But you know, this movie is so close to being done, and it would be a shame to be held back just by people. Right? Solution. I'm right now doing the voices myself. Here's Audacity where I'm recording. Still, I might look into other programs, but this will do for now. I've just popped on some of these. A reverb to make me sound more reverby, I guess. It makes a bit of a difference that I think subliminally will make you think it's not me voicing half the characters, it's actually another actor. Some bass and treble to play with my bass and treble to make me sound a bit different, and a compressor which helps reduce some of the background noise that I've been getting recently from my microphone. I don't know why. It was fine when I started working on this movie. Alright, I'm here with Katush. He's now doing the voices for Tony after the other guy couldn't help me. He was stuck with other personal things. But here we are at his studio. This is amazing. I need something like this. And yeah, I've also got the voices for Harley Quinn. So this movie is so close to being done. I think I'm going to finish editing it even exactly this week. So I'm back here in my office, and I just thought I would let you see something that I've been doing with the scenes to make the movie look a bit more dynamic and make the sets, like the cities mainly, look different from one from the other. And it's like a slight editing with the color adjustment, the color balancing, whatever, actually it's not that slight, and you won't actually know because in the movie I've applied it. But let's see here with the Bellwood scene. So yeah, let's go around here and play the scene. This is without any editing, any color adjustments. Alright, so that's how it looks normally raw. I mean, just with the editing from Photoshop. So let's see if I can. And this is pretty much where it was. This is with the filter. It looks a bit more vibrant. This is I have a preset. I've named it Bellwood. It's a bit brighter, a bit more saturated. It just feels Bellwood, and the setting of Bellwood feel a bit more welcoming, a bit more peaceful. Let me play the scene so you can notice the changes in multiple scenarios. And I've done one of these for pretty much every city. I have a preset for Bellwood, I have a preset for Gotham, one for New City, both before and after Triro comes. I even have one for Stormvault. And I think this works really well to differentiate the scenes. Let me show you what I have for Gotham. I mean, this is not the greatest of examples. This is in the Batcave. I think here you can see Gotham, it looks a lot more noir. It's less saturated, looks very sad, very depressed, and I think that really fits Gotham. And then here we have New City. And here it's not that noticeable, but it's a bit more. I made it feel like I wanted it to feel like how a busy city feels, like a big busy city full of people in cars and stuff. I think these beginning frames here show it the best, because this is what I use for reference, because it's got a lot of colors. I just wanted you to see this because I think it's a neat idea. Right, I am done with the movie. I've got the final voices, I've got everything. The movie, the main part of it, without the credits and the post-credit scene, 25 minutes, great, awesome. My longest so far, but not as long as I expected, if I'm honest. I've got it all here. I still have to do the credits. I think I'm going to do something similar to how they did the credits in Endgame. And I've put the color adjustments on every single scene, and music and transitions and everything, so it's looking great. I also selected the release date. You already know this, but I selected July 20th because it's on a Sunday. That's pretty much it, and because it's a round number. Yeah, those are the two reasons. I am so excited to finally be done with this. I've hit a hurdle because apparently every time I click to do something, the program freezes. I'm this close to finishing and the movie doesn't want to be finished. Help. I've managed to pull through. The movie is now exporting. It's 27 minutes and almost a half long, with the credits and the post-credits and with everything. And well, now it's exporting for the first time. I'm going to have to watch this after it's done exporting to make sure everything is okay and I haven't misplaced anything. But yeah, I'm so excited. Finally! Oh my god. It's scheduled, it's currently uploading, and it's great. And this will be the final clip of this behind the scenes documentary, if you want to call it, because it's pretty full length. And with this, I just want to thank everyone again who has helped me finish this movie. And of course, everyone that has watched the channel, any video, any movie, any trailer, anything, ever since I started in 2021. This has been a great journey, and it's been so fulfilling emotionally for me and creatively. And each one of you, with every view, every like, every comment, it's meant the world to me. And I honestly can say that that you guys watching this channel, watching my videos, has helped me a lot through this past for almost 5 years at this point, and I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you. And thank you so much once again, guys. I love you, and I hope you will be here for the long run. Just thank you, guys, for everything.